Right, we are going to talk about word problems and linear inequalities. So these are a lot like the problems we did yesterday, where we had a variable maybe on both sides. It was usually x, and we are solving these and setting them up. So the first one says Beyonce has $40 and earns $4 for each dog she walks. Lady Gaga has no money in her wallet, but she earns $5 for each dog she walks. How many dogs would need to be walked for Beyonce to have less money than Lady Gaga? So what we really have is like two problems happening, right? Like Beyonce has a problem and her own equation, and Lady Gaga has her own problem and her own equation. Okay? And what we're talking about this whole thing is making money by walking dogs. So my X is going to be the dogs walked, right? I only make money if I actually walk the dogs, whether or not I'm Beyonce or Lady Gaga. All right. So it says set up the inequality and be sure to identify your variable. So something that you guys need to recognize is what is the slope and what is the y-intercept? So if you're struggling with that, something that Mrs. Vogt has talked about a lot is making a table. So of course I won't have enough room for this, but if I think about Beyonce's table, she already has $40. And every time she walks a dog, so if she walks 0 dogs, she still has $40. If she walks 1 dog, she has $44. If she walks 2 dogs, she'll have another $4, so she'll have 48. So here I have plus 4, here I have plus 1. So Beyonce's slope is 4. 4 over 1 is 4. Beyonce's y-intercept is where x equals 0 is 40. Okay, what about Lady Gaga? I'll choose a different color for Lady Gaga. Okay, she has no money in her wallet, so when she walks 0 dogs, she has $0, but she gets $5 for each dog. So 1 dog, she has 5. She's another 5 here. So if I'm looking at these, I add 5 every time. So Lady Gaga's slope is 5, and she starts at 0. So you don't need the 0, but that helps some of us. All right, so then it says to set up the inequality, and it said how many dogs would need to be walked for Beyonce to have less money? Okay, so I want Beyonce's equation, 4x plus 40, to be less than Lady Gaga's equation. And again, I don't really care if they ever get equal, right? And that's how I know that I'm just using a less than symbol, because I didn't ask when are they even. I just want to know, when does Beyonce have less than Lady Gaga? And I already know Beyonce starts with more because she has $40 in her pocket. All right, solve the inequality. Just like we talked about yesterday, we treat this like an equal symbol. Okay, I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides, and I have 40 less than x. Okay, but remember, this doesn't make sense, so we're going to rewrite it. And we're going to keep the open mouth of our alligator towards the x and the pointy end towards the 40. So it'd be x greater than 40. So Lady Gaga has more money, or Beyonce has less money, at 40 dogs walked. All right, we're going to try this again. Remember, you should pause at any point that you feel confused or just to take more notes. Mrs. Vogt can go really fast. Okay, you probably can't, so you should pause, stop, slow down, take your notes, and then resume the video. All right, so Sam is deciding on whether or not he should become a member of a gym just to use their basketball courts. Okay, the membership cost is $135. Members pay $2 to rent out the basketball courts. Non-members can also rent the court, but they have to pay $11 each time. How many times would Sam need to rent the court in order for it to be cheaper to be a member than a non-member? So I don't have 2 people this time, so it seems a little weird, right? Like, what are my things happening here? Look at, I've got member and non-member. So this is where things are happening for me, either when I'm a member or a non-member. And what I'm really concerned about is how many times does Sam go to the gym? I should write times Sam goes to the gym. Okay, so this is the number of times Sam goes, not just goes to the gym, but rents the ball court. All right, so one step at a time here. We are going to take these and we're going to think about what we've got. If I am a member and I make a table for myself, right? I don't use the basketball courts anytime and I still have to pay that membership fee, $135. Okay, if I use the basketball court one time, I have to pay $2 to use it. If I use it again, I have to pay another $2. So as I'm looking here, I add 2, I add 1. So my slope, if I am a member, is 2, and my y-intercept, where x is 0, is 135. Okay, if I am not a member, I have to pay every time, right? So I rent one time, or sorry, I should start at 0. If I rent 0 times, I don't pay anything because I'm not a member. If I rent one time, I pay $11. 2 times, I pay another $11. 3 times, I pay another $11. So it looks like my slope for this one is +1, and plus 11, and my y-intercept is 0. So if I'm not a member, my equation is just this, 11x. Okay, now I want to know how many times would Sam need to rent the court in order for it to be cheaper? That tells me I want less than, because I want cheaper. I don't care when they're equal, I only care when they're cheaper. And I want a member to be cheaper than a non-member. So as I do this, I'm going to write my member equation down. And I want it to be less than, right? Cheaper means less than this equation. And I'm going to solve it just like I would before. Subtract 2x from both sides. Okay, oops, this should just be a less than sign. I'm going to divide by 9, and I get x over here and 15 here. Again, I don't know how to read this because it's working backwards, so I'm going to keep the pointy end towards the number and the open mouth towards the x. So Sam would have to rent the basketball court. He would rent 15 times, and it would be cheaper for him to be a member. All right, so those are your 2 examples. Again, hit pause when you need it. What you have next is 12 questions. Okay, they're all right here. 12 questions that are on Schoology, and they ask you to make a match. So what I would do right here is show your work here and then try to choose what you've got. Because when I see this, like Bruno Mars has 95 and is spending $4 a day. Okay, I would have trouble making those equations up myself. So what should you do? You should do just what I just did. Bruno Mars, make a table. He has $95 and he's spending $4 a day. So on day 0, he has $95. But then he's spending, so I have to subtract 4 of his dollars. Okay? If he goes another day, I have to subtract 4 of his dollars. Okay, same idea here for Riri. She has $40 and is earning. What does that mean? It means at 0 days she has $40. Earning means adding, right? 1 day she has 44. 2 days she has 48. Okay? Start with this. Start with tables and put them on here because your life will be easier if you show some work. Okay? Remember, the slope is the change in y over the change in x. We should be getting really good at this. This is like a fraction. And your y-intercept is where x equals 0 in the table. Okay, you guys got this? We've been practicing this. Go ahead and do those 12 problems on Schoology.